Hello, beautiful peoples. It's about that time. It's about that time. Do you know, not the way to San Jose, but that we are closing in on the end of season 4? That's crazy. That's
About that time.
crazy. It is. That's why I said that. Because all the coaches collabs memories are coming up. So then all the athletics LLC memories are starting to come up too. So for the first season. So anyhow, just wanted to put that out there. But we do have a show. We do have some topics to cover. And these topics have already been the topic or subjects in our group chat already. So this should be interesting now that it can be verbal and exchanged freely. So with the evolution of the sprints, not this year, but going into the Olympic year and the season is here, what do we feel is the current sprint capital in the US?
Oh no, was it in the
I'm
U.S.?
about to say, hold on.
Oh, I edited that.
She edited it.
I did. I had to look out of my left eye, not my right eye. Sorry. Not wearing my glasses, so kind of a free for all right now. Not gonna lie. Happy 44.
You're seeing double and triple, folks.
Pretty much. Okay. Where's the current sprint capital? Not limited to the US.
Period.
Heard.
Okay.
So okay, before we do that, let's just throw them out there so we can actually think about
them. No. No.
Okay.
Just let KST roll with what he gonna roll with.
Okay. So
well, my vote is for the entire state of Florida, but I think that's cheap.
No. Ain't getting off that easy. You ain't getting off that easy.
Okay. I feel like the current sprint capital, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's close. I think it's really close. But and I've had a lot of thought about this. I will say the current sprint capital is in LA. I will say that.
LA?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So when we say sprint, right? Where does it stop?
That is a very good question that you should probably answer, given
800
how you're going to answer it.
Okay.
I mean, I guess theoretically the 800.
So I would say Bobby Kersey's group.
Okay. Any justification?
Who's in this group?
Or are we just going to throw the name and leave it there?
So we're talking about Sydney McLaughlin. We're talking about Ifing Mo.
Yeah.
We're talking 2 world champions right there.
Yep.
2 Olympic champions or no? Yes.
Yeah.
2 Olympic champions.
Oh yeah.
Okay. We're also talking about oh geez, I'm drawing a blank now.
Kenny.
Huh?
Kenny,
yes. Kenny is there now?
Yeah, she's been there.
Kenny Harrison. Yes.
Yeah.
Kenny Harrison. So
no, yeah, not Kung Fu Kenny.
No. So you've got Prandini, you've got Morlake, you've got Kenny, you've got Thingmo, you have Sydney McLaughlin. There's someone else I'm missing.
I think Prandini left a while ago, but I understand.
So, and I'm basing this solely on the credentials. Like three legit world and Olympic champions in one group in 3 different events. So I'll so that's what I'll go with.
PT.
Oh. I'm so torn in so many directions. Like I said, the state of Florida is the easy answer, but I feel like every group in Florida is missing a piece, right? Like Noah's group's not a group really anymore. Raina's group is highly decorated and has some young talent that's kind of done some strange things. Dennis's group is more female than male. And honestly, just got heavily decorated on the women's side. And Mouse's group is really top heavy.
Yeah. Is there anyone else you throw into that mix?
Sure, the groups in Jamaica, but
Okay.
I don't know exactly who trains in which group. But what's the group? Does
you
who
have
trains?
you have
What females
Shelley,
train in the
Shelley
group
and
with
Elaine.
Zarnell?
Shelley and Elaine are in the same group now.
Right. Well, that's all the medals. What group does Zarnell train in?
He trains with Bolt's
Right,
coach.
but I don't know who else is in that group now.
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Right. I'm gonna hedge my bets, and I'm gonna say this. I'm going to say it's Gainesville for current and future medal potential.
Okay.
Because I think that there are 3 more medalists at least in Gainesville that have not won global medals yet.
Okay, so you're basing it on future potential.
So I'm basing it on current, right? They got the most decorated dude.
Yeah.
Right? They got the young superstar up and coming dude that's got a little bit of global medals. And then you got three male superstars and a soon to be shown female superstar that I think also will be of medal ilk.
But to be clear,
but like I said,
can you
I think each Florida group is slightly flawed.
Can you put names to that so the audience understands what you're saying there?
Sure. Grant Holloway, Ariane Knighton, Big Joe, Robert Gregory. I'm forgetting what's the young man's name. Ryan Willie. And not to mention Wanye and the 2 female sprinters who I don't want to say their names because they gotta push forward a little further.
And who trains there part-time? 200.
I don't know if
200.
I don't know if I know that one.
The
male or female?
Male.
I said Ariane.
Oh, you said Ariane. Okay.
But it's not part-time. He lives there now.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I said him second.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pick that group.
Anna.
Oh yeah.
Sprints.
Well, he's because he just said sprints. That's why I didn't include the jumps people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean Anna fits in that group because she's got the same coach. So that's my pick. But I don't, like I said, I'm picking it as a plurality, not a majority. If that makes any sense.
I understand.
Okay.
Big League Chew. What's my name around here?
In the city.
What? There it is.
The king,
Oh,
the king.
I
Of
was like,
petty.
I don't get where you're going.
So here's the thing, and I love and respect my patriots here, but the audience just saw an interesting answer with Gainesville, and what I would consider to be another distinctly interesting answer going to LA to Bobby Kersey's crew. Now, I am younger than my colleague here, but in my time, the sprint capital has always been a distinction of, what's the word? Sprinters. 100, 200, So I kind of have a problem stretching the definition to fit hurdlers and 800-meter people, 400 hurdlers, to make credible arguments if we're going to stretch that far. I am not willing to stretch that far. And therefore, the current sprint capital, as it's been defined in history of the past, is absolutely nowhere. That's where it is. It doesn't exist. There is no sprint capital. There's a bunch of really talented people spread throughout the United States and the world, but there is no collection of dominance that you could associate a sprint capital to, like Santa Monica Track Club days or HSI in its heyday. It just doesn't exist. And I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing, but I'm not sure it's ever going to come back or return to any of that. There's a whole bunch of camps with a whole bunch of sprinters, but in these camps, you got one or maybe two people that have popped up and done, legitimate global medalist type things. There's a lot of relay bandits around. But sprint capital, in my world, that distinction means something. And there's no place in this country or anywhere else that I'm willing to dress that jacket in.
So just from a numerical standpoint, you are able to go back and look and see which group has been the most successful at a World Championships, at an Olympics each year. Am I right or wrong?
I believe so.
I mean, I understand your point, but we're literally talking about a competition between those groups and which group is the most or has been or is the most successful currently.
Sure, but in the sprints though.
I mean, if you're gonna go just in the sprints, it's probably the tumbleweed group.
And there it is. And therein
right?
lies. Yes.
But that's what I was saying is like I like that group and was gonna pick that group. And when I said each group in Florida is somewhat flawed, right? Papa Podium's the only one that we know is always going to medal, and I know it happened once that he didn't, but then he went out and won the Diamond League final, right? But they got the reigning Olympic champ in the 100, and I don't think anybody on the planet thinks he's winning.
Well, but even to that point, and with all due respect to the tumbleweeds, Jacobs is now in the tumbleweed crew, but he didn't win that medal from the tumbleweed crew.
Right.
So when discussing sprint capital, I can't give the tumbleweeds credit for that medal because they didn't do it.
This is kind of my point.
And that's why I'm like,
said
it's nowhere.
Every single group is somewhat flawed.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because like that group got the most short sprint medals, but they weren't all won there. Right. And honestly, I think actually that's not true. the group with the most short sprint medals is Elaine and Shelley because they got all the medals.
Because they have them.
But didn't
win. But they didn't win them in this current group. And yeah.
That's why I said it's nowhere, baby.
Listen, I can't even really argue with your answer, especially considering who you are.
Nah.
What's my name?
I mean, that's what I'm saying, right?
Geez. Can you think of anybody, any groups, and maybe it's because I'm not familiar for sure, besides the Jamaican groups that are outside of our waters, outside
So
of our borders?
does what's her name not train with Femke Bol?
The two Dutch.
Yes. Do they not train together?
Papendal. Femke trains at Papendal.
Yeah, she doesn't train. Her and the other quarter miler don't train together. No,
Okay.
Clobber.
Clever.
Clava. Yeah,
Who you were talking about?
Clava.
They feel like they're not in the same camps now that I'm learning more and more about camps, even within countries, let alone
Yeah.
European, spanning over
Hey.
European countries.
I would love to see a group truly step forward and be what HSI was in its time, or, you know, Santa Monica was in its time. Sprint Capital, for real, would be cool.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll have to stay tuned on that, at least from where I sit.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what the fan clubs say in our comments. So excited to hear that feedback. All right. Well, moving on. What, and I feel like we've already touched this to an extent, but what is the toughest doable double in track and field?
The
Long jump,
toughest.
triple jump.
and I'll say this, because you're so silly, because it is my question. I meant literally in our current landscape, right? So like, if anybody in 2024 is going to try a double, what is the toughest of these doubles that is actually attemptable? Like, because Safan tried the triple at the last Worlds, and I just, to be honest, I don't think any of us really thought that was attemptable. She attempted it pretty well.
Yes.
But no normal human being looked at that time schedule and was like, yeah, let's do that.
Right. Great idea.
What say you, Clyde?
From a Olympic viewpoint, I will admit I have not studied the schedule well enough to truly have an answer for this. But I feel like the toughest attemptable double would be, and how are we, wait, real quick, how are we defining success? Medal in both, or you have to win them both?
I think you have to medal in both for it to be successful.
Just medal in both.
I just sent it to you.
All right. Well, shit. All right. I believe, based on the fact that I have not read this yet, I think the toughest doable double would be Sydney McLaughlin attempting the 400 hurdle double. Do I think she can in both? No. But do I think she could medal in both? Absolutely.
I'm pissed that you said that, because I was thinking that, and I was just like, without Femke Bol, I think it's very, very doable. But I think Femke Bol would make it not doable.
Well, here's the thing. And again, I'm reading this thing as fast as I can.
Yes.
I'm pretty certain that the women's 400 hurdle final is before the women's 400 final. So therefore, she can get rid of Femke, get that win, and see what we have left in the open four and come back with the medal.
But Femke is going to run her to the line, or at least far enough to the line. I said it, listen, you know what I mean. My point is she can't go out there and jog. She's going to have to run.
Oh, yeah, she going to need 50-point Sid to beat Femke, yes. But
does the REP on Monday morning, is that the folks that shouldn't be there in the first place? Sorry.
As I understand it, yes.
Okay, all right. Okay. So the program would start on Tuesday.
She would have the 400 hurdle final on day 8 evening.
Right.
And then the open 400 final on day 9 evening. Which means the semifinal. Yeah. I mean, listen, it's ugly, but it's doable.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. What you got, Governor? Or you know what?
Damn sure jog through all the rounds.
Yeah, I'll go because I don't think anybody sees mine coming.
Okay.
Because I think this is very, very doable.
But it's very hard.
It's insanely hard. I think that Mr. Tobogo could actually do the 400-200 double.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Hold on, let me look. Let me look.
Mhm.
Man. This is oof. Okay.
The schedule's not kind on doubling attempts. Let's just start with that.
But
So
it's still spread out over 11 days. How is that not?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know about this one. I don't know. Because
Why?
Because the semifinal for the men's 200 is at 2,000 hours on day 7.
Yep.
And the 400-meter final is an hour and 20 minutes later.
Woo!
Absolutely doable.
This is bringing back memories.
Oh no. Oh no.
2022. Ugh.
Absolutely doable. The question is, right?
So what are you chilling? Which one do you chill in?
Well, you can't chill and make the final.
No.
You can't chill and make the final.
You run because also lanes really matter in the 2, right? So you gotta win your semi in the 2, right? But then in the 4, you gotta run for a medal.
Yeah.
You can't you can't run for the win. You gotta leave them alone and run to the house.
Run for 3rd.
You got to run for 3rd, and you might pick off 2nd, but you can't get engaged with 1 because you'll get 7th.
Yikes!
I mean, there's probably crazier answers, but yeah,
let's put it this way. Look, this double is still easier than Michael's because that was 4 races in the 4 and 4 races in the 2.
Yes.
Now look, I understand all of that, like, but this is an irritation of it's kind of like Jordan lore. Yeah, technically there were 8 races, but 4 of them were nonsense. Like
no,
training runs.
Don't do that.
What you mean? Don't do it. Go look at the times,
sir. I watched every single one of those races. It's the number of races in the number of days.
I get it.
Like I don't
but
care.
If you out there,
I don't care. Listen, I understand, but I look. Let's not forget that those races were finished in 43-4 and 1932.
Yes, the end was
okay. So we're done.
Yeah,
we're done.
I'm just saying it wasn't the first.
I'm not here for
2 rounds of each of the other ones was not 19.
I'm not here for no shade of 4 and 4. That's all I'm saying to you. Man. Anyway, what you got, Governor?
He would have to go 400 Sunday, 200 Monday, semifinal Tuesday, semifinal for the 200 Wednesday, final for the 400, hour and a half later, and then the final for the 200 on Thursday. Yikes.
Yeah,
no, it's literally just the final day for the 4 that's the problem.
That's the real problem.
It's the problem.
It's the 200 semi, 400 final day. There's no question.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
but it's doable. I don't think anybody can argue it's doable.
Yeah.
So I picked that one, and I said it was the hardest.
So the thing that is, I think will forever be etched in my brain, having seen it attempted, is the 4 hurdles double.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is a true test, I think, of everything that you possibly have, every fiber in your body. Like, goodness gracious, like, And then, can you imagine if both Bull and Sydney decided we're going to do this? How insane would that be?
I mean, it would be actually pretty dope.
It would, wouldn't it?
And the funny thing is, given the state of the Open 400, I think they both medal.
Exactly.
But I will say this: if it was reversed, if it was the 400 first and then the hurdles, no, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Not a chance.
Oh,
So yeah, I'm gonna stick with the 4 hurdles.
do we think there's any listen, Bobby's crazy, and we all know that, and we mean crazy in a loving way, Bobby. I love you, BK. But is there any way that he's considering it?
No.
He's petty enough to consider it.
Yes.
That's what I like about him.
Like, is there any way he's considering, like, we want to win 4 medals in the 400, so we win the 400 hurdles, the mixed 4x4 and the 4x4?
Listen, I'll say
we
this.
go run all the quarters.
I'll say this. I have no information on this subject. I have not talked to Bobby. I have not texted Bobby. I have not asked Bobby. Is he considering it? I guarantee you at some point he considered it because he's enough to want to give the double middle finger to the world.
How
far down the train?
Can't even argue with you.
Like how far down that process he's gone? Are they training for it? Are they actually considering? I have no clue, but I'm here for it. You already got the world record. Yep. It's not getting broke. Hey.
What about the distance doubles?
I'll say this. It's a better double attempt than trying it within the NCAA format.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yes.
I think we have a great deal of, so I want to make sure that at least I want to say to the whole distance world that watches the show, like, I have a great deal of respect for the distance doubles, but I think they are inherently more doable than the doubles that we are speaking of, because they're scheduled to be doubled. Right? If you are uber fit, you can do the 5K, 10K double. Like, it's hard, right?
It's been done. It's been done.
But the schedule is not set up so that you can't do it, right? There's not you don't have to run the 10K semi and then run the 5K final on the same. It's not like that. So I don't know. What I think is crazy is, like, the simplest, like, old school natural double, long jump, triple jump is, like, impossible.
Yeah, nah, ain't none of them people.
And there isn't anybody, I don't think, even in line to attempt the shot this double anymore.
So Javon is still talking about the long high double.
He still wants to do it.
He is.
But as he turned pro, the high jump looks amazing, and the long jump is kind of whatever.
The two biggest problems that Javon has with the long jump, high jump double are A, the two takeoffs, the more elite you get them to be, the more they fight against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then two, right, the body ass, the mental ass, the angles are all very, very different. But two, and this is the big one, he's good enough to make the team in both.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But that's like being just smart enough to get yourself in trouble. Right? He's good enough to make the team, which then means he's got to make decisions, and that's never good.
That's right.
And I don't mean like him not making decisions is bad. I'm not throwing shade at him. I'm just saying coaches have to take decisions out of athletes' hands, because we always think we can do everything. Like, let's be clear. I was in the relay pool in 1996, and in my brain, I could finish the deck and the next day run the prelim of the 4x1. I 100% believe that. You know what I'm saying? Because as an athlete, you believe you can do these things. You're well trained and blah, blah, blah. The reality is like, no, that's not a thing.
So at these Olympics, the long jump qualifying is Sunday morning. Tuesday is the final. And then the high jump qualifying is on Wednesday. And then the high jump final is
Probably Thursday or Friday.
the high jump final for men is Saturday.
So give him 2 days. So it is without question doable.
Doable. It is. I mean, he's got 2 days. He's got Thursday and Friday to get ready for the final on, that's very different. I've never seen 2
But
days.
the difficulty there is the long jump finals at night, and the high jump qualifying is in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, coaches is telling you,
training
hey,
for that.
you've got to come off that high. Okay, congratulations, you won. Now I need you to get to bed and wake up, and I need 228 out of you.
Right, because again, the qualifying is always brutal in the men's high jump.
Yeah, it is.
I would feel a lot better about that if he long jumped off one foot and high jumped off the other.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a lot better about that double. Big League, you got an input for this one?
No, I threw him out already. I mean, I was joking about the long triple, but I wasn't joking about the long triple. And then the distance one, and you guys covered it. And then I was going to go to Javon next. So literally been talked about.
I wish somebody would try the shot hammer double. It happens all the time in college, but nobody. Chuck and Equity used to throw the hammer really far.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's gone through life and become a shot putter and gotten up to 22 meters, like I get it, right? It's different, but at least that one I think you could do because the two things don't fight against each other. Shot and disc is hard to do.
Yeah.
At the elite level.
Yeah, I can't think of
What's next, Chewy?
yeah, I can't think of anything else that would double. All right, so speculative. That's the italicized word that is floating out of my mouth right now. Speculative. There is speculation as to what Sha'Carri Richardson's contract has come out to be and what it amounts to from Nike. What does her contract, the value of her speculated value of the contract, mean for the sport of track and field? Doesn't mean anything.
You know what? I'll go first since I'm King of Petty. The rumor is that she signed this $20 million deal through 2028 with Nike. If we assume that that is true, I would say, congratulations, Ms. Richardson. But the question is, what would that type of deal mean for the sport of track and field? And the answer is not a goddamn thing. Absolutely nothing. For multiple reasons. But to be as specific as I could be, one, the fact that it wouldn't be a market driving contract because no one would actually confirm that that was even real to begin with means that other people who in theory could rise to that level of relevance, I guess is a word, that I would use here couldn't argue market value like a football quarterback does when the next person gets the big contract and the big contract and the big contract. So in just the general business space, it means absolutely nothing. And since to this moment, Sha'Carri's relevance that would garner her said contract is all about things that have nothing ultimately to do with running, mean that the social media and the stardom and the fan side of things is something unique to her and probably could not be and would not be replicated. World champion, yes, for certain. But there's a lot of world champions out there. And she has one. And so if the new precedent is that a singular world champion is now worthy of a $20 million deal, well, that would be great for the sport, but that's not true. It has to do with her following. It has to do with her the engagement. The word
the
I'm
likeness.
right. Engagement in the social media space, that those things would be the reason that somebody would invest like that in those ways. And it's all projected on what they believe will happen next, right? So for the sport, doesn't mean anything. It's very singularly connected to Miss Richardson. And if she has it, if those numbers are true, I am always been a person of you are what the market says you are. And if that's her market, then she deserves it, and props to her.
So what I did, and I can't help myself. I decided to go back and do a timeline of events. And so when you're talking about the explosion in Austin, Texas, the 1075.
Yep.
This is a freshman. She breaks the NCAA record. Goes on, wins the Olympic trials, 21. Positive drug test. Banned for a month.
Don't forget the Michelle Obama tweet, because that's what set it all off.
Well, I was getting to that.
Okay.
Essentially, she went from maybe a couple 100,000 to 2 million followers. Boom, just like that.
Yep.
Okay. She exemplifies the fact that it doesn't matter whether it's good or bad press. It doesn't matter. If you are in the public consciousness and the right people are in your corner, and you're talking Hollywood, you're talking the entertainment industry, you're talking singers, rappers, poof, takes on a life of its own. So now you have mainstream media, Hollywood, entertainment industry, on her side, members of Congress. Joe Biden chips in with a comment on Sha'Carri Richardson. So at this point, Nike is sitting there going, oh my gosh. Like, everything this young lady touches is huge. She's radioactive, right? 2022 misses the 100, 200 meter finals at US champs and doesn't qualify for world champs. Everybody's going, what's going on? Yada, yada, yada. 2023 runs 10:57. Boom. Windy or not, fastest times we've ever seen. Wins Doha 10:76. Wins US champs 10:82. Wins her first goal in the 100, 10:65. Follows up with bronze in the 200. Gold in the 4x1. Right? So, in that space of time, you have the makings of a Hollywood story. Right? Why did she smoke pot? Well, she finds out that her mom died at the championships. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, right? So it pulls people in. It pulls people in. People are behind her. Nike senses now that this young lady has a following. She, you know, she's grabbed the bull by the horns. Now she's at, next thing you know, she's at the Met Gala. She's at Formula One, hobnobbing it. BET Awards, ESPYs. And the machine is now pushing this young lady, right? She just came out. She's on the 30 for 30 Forbes list. I mean, so social media wise, she's at 3 million followers. How many track and field athletes have 3 million followers? Okay. What we're seeing less of are crazy posts, the off the wall comments, stuff like that. Stuff like that has come down tremendously. The amount of posts have come down tremendously. She now has deal with Beats. She's now doing commercials. She's now leading the Nike collaboration with Jacquemus, a French designer. Track named after her, John Kincaid High School. But outside of all of that, she is now getting what we saw in our day, what Marion Jones was getting. She was getting that treatment. There was a team behind her. Everything has to be hitting, and we have to be very selective, and we have to make sure you're in the right places, and you have to make sure that, so you're moving into a situation where it's an entertainer that sprints. It's no longer Sha'Carri the sprinter, and oh my gosh, no. She's moved into another space. Okay? So would I be surprised that this deal is real? No, I would not. Will we ever know? We probably will never know. Let's just be honest. So, all of that being said, it is a talking point, is what it is. And, I think due to the nature of track and field, the NDAs, all of that, the speculation, as long as it's out there in the sphere, I think that's all people really care about. I mean, people are going on the record, but we can't take that for what it is. There needs to be proof, absolute proof. So I think obviously that she's obviously one of the higher paid athletes in the world. Absolutely. But what that number is, I don't know.
All right.
Now, wait a minute. He said all of that, and it was awesome to listen to. He didn't answer the fucking question. What does it mean for the sport?
I said what it means for the sport. What I said, I know how everything that I said was to say, if you want to be in this sphere, this is the when you talk about the amalgamation of things that have to happen for you to be in this space, right? How willing are you to put yourself, how willing are you to put yourself out there in that space, that space, and to come out of it alive? If you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
That's my point. I mean, I'm naming off all these things. These are not normal things that would happen in a 5-year space of someone's career.
As true as that is, this just happened to be this particular path for this particular woman. Let me be 100% clear when I say this. Ain't no way on this planet that that's the path that's necessary. But I want to answer the question directly. It was for her.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But you know, I'm just going to spitball out there and guess that Sha'Carri Hawkins probably has the second most followers of any female track and field athlete in USA track and field. And if she actually makes the US Olympic team, wild and esoteric things are going to happen in regards to her and her finances, because she also has a ton of followers. Not 3 million, but she's got a lot. And it won't have anything to do with any of the things that we just talked about. But your point about the following is not lost on me.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say this. What I think that the contract, even the contract speculation, does for the sport of track and field, because we are so close to it, to the paper sometimes, that we can't like see our nose despite our face kind of deal. Legitimize is the wrong word, but I think there are a great number of people who just now found out that there's anybody in track that could possibly make $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The fact that millions of dollars are being associated with a female in our sport, the natural assumption is going to be, well, the men must, so Noah Lyles must make more, right? Because the natural assumption is that the men make more than the women. I don't know that that's a safe assumption in this contract situation, but the point is, the narrative in the outside of the track and field world works well for us. I would like to be an Ariane Knighton or a Grant Holloway or Ryan Krauser and have my contract be coming up after 24. Right? I would like to be somebody like that at this point, right? Because yeah, I may not be able to make you honor that 20 million and 5-year deal, but I can probably make you honor some parts of it.
Yeah.
Right. And at the end of the day, listen, there aren't 10 people in the sport of track and field that make $1 million a year. And I think that this contract could easily double that. Right. Because the biggest thing that we got to remember is Sha'Carri is American and the next Olympics is in the United States. So her contract speculation is going to inflate most contracts of high leverage Americans going into 28. Like, I guarantee you that Grant's people were excited when they saw this, because Grant has medals, lots of them. And if he wins the Olympic gold medal in the hurdles, and he is the defending Olympic champion for the next 4 years going into 28, that contract is going to have 7 figures in it yearly.
So
I would love to live in a world. I would love to live in the world that the EP just described.
Yep. I was about to.
I don't believe we live in that world at all. I don't think the powers that be and the people that cut the checks give a damn about Grant's multiple medals more than they care about the followers.
Yes.
I can tell you that they may not necessarily care about more about them than the followers. But again, Grant has a following. Look, the followers are important. I'm the first person to agree with all of you, right? So you do have to do whatever you have to do to create a following and one that's paying attention. But if you have a following and then go do something, I'm telling you, this contract brings relevance to your claims that you should be making this money. Now, you can look, I'm an agent with a straight face. If I'm representing Kareem and he wins the Olympics in 2024, right? I'm gonna go and the deal is up. I'm gonna go to Adidas and I'm gonna say, well, we want 2 million. They're gonna tell me I'm crazy. But what if we then land on 1 or 900K? Like, these things are relevant because now you're not laughed out of the room for saying the M word.
So I, again, I had to go and look, and someone has compiled, and I'm just going to keep it at 5. Can we name the top 5 most popular track and field athletes in terms of followers? Starting with 5.
Are you asking for the number or the?
No, can you give me 5 of the top the top 5 most followed athletes in track and field.
Is this global?
Global.
In
All right,
in some form or fashion, in some order, I'm gonna say.
Doesn't matter what order.
You're
Just
right. I'm gonna say Sha'Carri. I'm
Mhm.
gonna say
Carson
Sherry Hawkins.
Warholm.
Who's
I'm
that?
gonna,
Carson Warholm.
I'm not gonna say Carson Warholm. I'm going to say Sha'Carri,
Uh-huh.
Sherry Hawkins. I'm going to say Sydney McLaughlin. Femke, maybe.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? I might give Warholm. I might put Warholm in. Or Mondo.
What
Mondo.
say you, Chu?
Usain Bolt.
No. He's
No,
done.
no. Current.
Current.
Oh. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And if you tell me it's Sha'Carri and 4 distance runners, I won't be shocked.
Go ahead.
Jack.
Jack who?
Jack Flood.
Okay.
Jack Flood.
Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
Sydney. And Grant.
Okay. What say you, EP?
All right. No order. Sha'Carri, Warholm, Femke Bowl, Mondo. God, it probably is Sha'Carri Hawkins.
All right. Here we go. Number 5. Fred Curley.
No, that's interesting.
This is awesome.
1.3 million.
So
This
is
is
this
awesome.
following on just Twitter?
I don't know. I don't know.
Just across. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
So
what Google.
I think this is on Instagram. Instagram.
Okay.
Okay. Number 4. Kipchoge.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Sure.
2.5 million.
Oh, wait. Damn it. I forgot about the Indian javelin thrower.
Oh, yeah.
Number 3, Sha'Carri
Yeah.
Richardson at 3 million.
Oh, she's
number
3.
3, folks.
Yes.
Oh.
Number 2, Alika Schmid. Alika Schmid. This is world's sexiest athlete, German middle distance runner, social media influencer.
You say so.
See, we forget about how horny the world is.
I didn't forget it at all. You over there talking about medals matter on money. I'm like, no, that girl got more money.
Here's where it gets crazy. Let's look into her achievements. Okay.
No.
Nothing.
We're not gonna do who's number 1?
800
She has
the German U20 championship.
I don't know who that is.
I was gonna say she has a U20 uniform. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
We're not doing that.
All right. And number 1, Neeraj Chopra at 8.4
I told you.
million.
Yo, I forgot about that because he got like 3 million followers like the day after he won the gold medal in the javelin.
Yeah.
I forgot all about my man.
A lot of people in India.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people.
I was just about to say that.
And they all
got phones.
Chopra.
So I mean, it's I think the path to get to this point where a shoe company is going, oh, we got to get behind this person because of how popular they are. I mean, if you look at those 5, they've all taken 5 different ways.
Way different.
From quiet, humble, to I'm, the king of India.
Right. If Chopra doesn't win, he's nowhere near this list.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's interesting. I mean,
the only one on that list that was actually surprising was Fred.
I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked that Fred was on the list.
But I think we know why he's on this list.
No, totally.
Fred is shaking trees. He's shaking trees.
100%. But it is surprising to me that he is on the list and the world's new track and field bad guy, Noah Lyles, is not. Because Noah would have you believe that he is Batman.
Mm-hmm.
He would have you believe that he's the most important thing in the track and field community. And I give him credit for that. He's like the Muhammad Ali of track. Like, this dude is the greatest self-promoter ever at this point.
Well, clearly not.
Better. I was gonna say do better because you ain't doing it.
He's at 566.
I was about to say, yeah, Noah's got less than half of what Fred got on his.
I know. Hey, listen, when that conversation was being had about Fred and Lyndon racing in the 1500, y'all don't understand how wild things got around our camp for a minute.
Really?
Yeah.
And I will say this, if the race happens, it's going to happen for like $1 million.
Better.
And let me tell you, we getting the coaching fee for that.
Legitimate. So no.
This was fun.
Yes.
I think that just it's gonna spur some conversations. And so I'm interested to see how that comes back around and comes back to us, whether it's via text.
Well, it boils down to what Seb Coe intimated at, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago in terms of self-promotion.
Yeah.
Like, I am no longer going to be the vehicle. World Athletics is no longer going to be the vehicle to get you where you need to go. You need to figure this out. You know, say what you want.
The funniest part is that's going to end up being the demise of World Athletics. It will eventually, right? Because somebody's going to say, well, why do I need to show up to World Championships?
Yeah.
You're only going to pay me $100K if I break the world record. You're only going to pay me $40K or $70K if I win a global championship. I can make $70K. Like, somebody like Fred's got 1 million followers, right? Mm-hmm. If he endorses a product, he probably will make $70K.
Absolutely.
Right. And it's like, that's without running a step. And so this is like going down the slippery slope from a World Athletics perspective. Look, I'm here for it.
Do you hear that, EP? I just heard some people going, hey, can someone shut him up? Can someone just
but no, wait. This has to be said, especially since you took the time to pull out the list, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody went different paths, yes. But of those 5, and again, I mean this respectfully, I just like reality. 4 of those 5 had to perform and win to become what they were.
Elevated. Yes.
That is not Miss Richardson's reality. She got all of that popularity before she won it.
Yeah.
And so that, to my original point, her reality.
Well, then you mean 3 of them, because the young lady from Germany has not won anything.
No, right. I'm sorry. My bad.
U20 champion.
Sorry, she won U20s,
right.
and so have everybody on this.
I don't know. Listen, I don't even know who that is, and I've never seen the IG, but he said world sexiest athlete. That's what is on the thing. So that's a different issue. I haven't seen that. But
so I just looked it up. There are at least 6 fan pages.
Yeah.
Before you even get to the
real page.
Yes.
But just the point is, to his thing about showing up at world championships. Some people don't have to. And that's doesn't have to.
That is kind of going to become, part of the deal. And that's why I'm saying, in the end, this slippery slope is going to change, eventually going to change how this sport is run. And hopefully for the better. Because, look, at the end of the day, if you want to have control over athletes, you have to pay them. Like, I give the NBA credit, right? They got pretty good control over their people, but that's because they pay them 55% of the television revenues.
Wow.
I just need people to that's the reason why they make so much money. Because if you got to spend 55% of the billions that you sign the TV deal for, a whole lot of people about to make a whole lot of money.
I just went on her profile. She's a boss athlete. Let's just start there.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
On that note, I get
you 3 will have to tell me what it feels like to be pretty. I'm just Never been pretty a day in my life. So,
Ain't never been that pretty, clearly.
oof.
Coaches NIL. That's what's next.
There we go.
That's what it is. I mean,
And I'm here for that. I'm here for coaches and NIL.
golly.
I am here.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all, if y'all want to be entertained, go back to March 1st and follow my Instagram though. Because
Oh my
every day, shameless plug of my own personal shoes palooza. I am subtle flexing and it's kind of fun.
Subtle. Anyways. All right.
Don't act like you
well,
don't like it. Mm-hmm. Whatever.
My shoes are better. Anyways.
Stop it. That's not even close. Stop
Anyways.
it.
All right, y'all. Well, we're interested to hear what your inputs are. So write in the comments, text us, email us, send them on IG, whatever it is. Because definitely conversations are going to spur from this.
Mhm.
So we want to know what those are. But until then, enjoy the bus ride that you're going to have the conversation on to the meet that you're going to this weekend. Hopefully it's a little dry. Hopefully it's even warmer than it should be. But other than that, everyone have a great week and we'll see each other soon. Now.